Hello beautiful people, it's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video and it's titled Can Women Prey on Men? From Douglas Murray. Interesting. So we're going to be checking this video to hear what I got to say. Let's check it out.
Can women prey on men?
Absolutely.
Right. This is stored knowledge that we've pretended we don't have. Everybody knows it. Everybody. And it's unbelievably dangerous to talk about. I give the example in the book of the Indiana Jones films. One of the Indiana Jones films, there's a famous scene where the whole class of sort of very attractive young women all looking moonily at Harrison Ford and his teaching, and they're all, the sexy, hot, archaeology guy, which is, of course, completely familiar in real life. And anyhow, he's giving the class, and one of the girls, I mean they are girls really in the class, has written "Love You" on her eyelids, and she blinks at him so he can see this. And I find this fascinating because this, again, sometimes it comes up as a meme online still, but everybody knew this type. It was so familiar as a type, the woman, or even the young woman, making a really overt play for the male. It's so familiar that it was in family movies.
And what about the spinster with the toy boy?
And we sort of pretend that these types don't exist. We sort of denied ourselves access to archetypes that we pretended don't exist.
It's unlearning, really important learning.
Yes. Well, because in these things, we're in the realm of, for a lot of this, because within the law, as I was saying earlier, we're in the realm of manners. And the manners are things that you're best trying to acquire as you go along from other people and learning from your elders and other things. And the elders at the moment are saying, we don't know what we know. We're not passing it on. Don't touch.
Good luck, figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, and by the way, some of them are men. And
that's the note, isn't it? That's that. Be home by 1.
Yeah, but it's just, as I say, it's complex. It's complex, but it's not as complex as we're making it.
What do we do to move forward then?
Several things. The first thing is we have to realize what's going on and just get out of it. We have to get out of this. We have to get out of this zero-sum game. Particularly the zero-sum game whereby, in order for women to do better, men have to do worse. Or for gay people to thrive, straight people have to do worse. Or for black people to thrive, white people have to do worse. We've got to get out of this. This is just so unhealthy. It's a waste of individual life, and it's a terrible opportunity cost for a society, because none of it is fixable, is my view. There are things you can do worse and there are things you can do better, but we're never going to fix it. There's never going to be the lovely interlocking nirvana that means that we all move to some perfect state. It's just not the case. So what should we be doing? And this is the thing. And I think that a lot of clever people, and particularly a lot of people who've had certain advantages in their lives, are helped through this, and they know how to get through this era. I give various examples of this, the sort of cuttlefish phenomenon, among others. But my point is that there are people who've worked it out, and I'd quite like their knowledge that, among other things, a lot of this is bullshit, to be more widely understood, because we need to get out the other side of this in larger numbers. Now, my view is...
Before we go on, I think the society itself is doing more harm than good and putting pressure on both men and women and trying to do it, make it in the way that is one or the other. And also the society creates a scheme or have programs or devise a medium to cater for women more, and they don't cater for men. Sometimes it feels like the men are left out, and obviously they are, because sometimes the society put more pressure on men, and sometimes when men air their pains or air their problems or air what they're going through, society be like, oh, you're a man it up and whatnot. So to them, men are not supposed to complain, men are not supposed to feel something, or men are not supposed to feel the need to be seen. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for men with the responsibilities that society push forward or place upon them. And really, these are things that really needs to be talked about. I don't think it's only women that needs to be prioritized. Men also go through things, and men are dealing with things the exact same way women are. And there should be a balance between both. It shouldn't be one or the other, because the both of them, man and woman, complement the society. I don't think we can do or live in a world or the society where men don't exist. In as much as feminists would say they want a world where men don't exist, I don't think we can coexist or we can exist where men don't exist. But let me know what you think. Let's go on.
We need to get out the other side of this in larger numbers. Now, my view is that this is because it's partly just something for people to do. It's a lifestyle choice of its own, and a hobby and a religion, among other things. It's worth thinking, what should we be doing then if we're not doing this? But let me put it this way. I mean, imagine if we actually solved the identity politics thing, which I say is not going to happen. And what would it look like? It would look like us saying, it's great, I've worked out where I am in the hierarchy this morning, and I'm allowed to speak between 11:30 and 11:32. And you do that for some decades and then you die. Now, I'm not up for that. And I trust you aren't either.
No.
Now, what could we be doing? Well, I think we should be hugely ambitious. And I don't have all the answers by any means, but I know that we should be much more ambitious than that in what we're going to do. We have the 21st century ahead of us. We have better luck than anyone in human history. Anyone. Not just anyone alive today, but anyone alive ever. So why would we be wasting our time playing identity quick fix politics? I would submit that we should try to get ourselves off this in order to dream bigger dreams, to do really meaningful things, to not work out what we shouldn't be doing and what we're not allowing ourselves to do and what we don't think is in our lane, but to break out of that. You know, something Jordan Peterson and I and others have discussed a few times in the past has been this strange view of life in this era as if the ideal life is to be harmless, like harmless from cradle to grave, not cause harm. At least I didn't emit any CO2, and I never upset anyone, and I never spoke when I shouldn't have spoken, and so on. I just think we've got to break out of that and say, no, the aim of this generation is not just to be harmless as our highest aspiration. It's to be extraordinary, to be great, to be inventive, to be intelligent, to be loving, to be caring, to be great in all of our personal relationships if we can, and recognize it will fail a great deal, but do as well as we can. And then in the rest of our lives, be extraordinary and great, and do things that people will talk about for generations afterwards and look at with admiration. You know, we don't look at the great buildings of the past that have stayed standing and look at them with anything but awe. And I can't see that in this generation. If our ambition is to look at our navel long enough to believe we've understood ourselves totally and then die, I see nobody standing looking at a statue of that and think, if anyone could do that in marble, and thinking, those are the guys.
And you know, the society itself is creating more divide between men and women. They don't even want men and women to come together to procreate or to mingle and stuff. And society, I think the society itself is putting more pressure on people, both men and women, and still sort of trying to create a divide between people, which if you look at it, it don't make sense. And with all of the scheme, agenda, programs, and whatever they're putting, they cater for the people that would give them listening ear more. And who are the people that listens to them more and follows their doctrine or follows what they push? Women. So they feed into their ear and tell them what to do and make them believe or live in fantasy rather than living in the real world. Some people are still figuring it all out. Some people are still in the phase where they just want to follow because they don't see the need to source out or do things freely for them, do things for themselves. But again, I still 100% I blame it all upon society, because the society itself doesn't want unity. And when you look at it, they create subgroups, subcategories, and place people in different boxes, different groups, which is not beneficial, is not helping, it's not helping to people. They think they're helping people, but no, they're not. But let me know what you think. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I really love to share that. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.